You have become a beloved figure at fan events for both Little House and Twin Peaks, two worlds that couldn't be more different. Have those fan experiences given you kind of any different or special perspective on what lasts in art for people?
Wow. Well, the thing I noticed the most is that they're stunned that I'm the same person in both, that did both. The biggest following I have really is Little House on the Prairie, and which is still on to this day, 51 years later. Amazing. But then there's those Twin Peaks fans that hang in there, Eraserhead fans that hang in there, and I noticed it 2 weeks ago when we had a screening of Twin Peaks in Napa, and the theater was packed, and I got all these children that are fans of it who wanted to take pictures with me, and I realized it's still hanging in there. It's still going.
So later this year, you'll be attending the cast reunion for Little House.
Yeah, Simi Valley, California.
Why do you think it's had the staying power that it's had? I mean, like you said, it's still on the air, and there have been other really successful shows that didn't get continued love and affection like Little House has.
I know. Well, I remember when we had our 50th anniversary, there were over 10,000 people there that came. 10,000 people. 50 years later. One of the reasons, because it's still on the air in a lot of places. Most of the people that come aren't even old enough to have seen the show originally. They're not old enough. I mean, they couldn't have seen it. I don't know. Michael Landon, I have to thank for that. And his crew, they were so faithful to the time, the honesty, the love, the family. Michael's always been a family man, even though it was several families, but he's always been a family man. I just think he had a good vision and he carried it out. And I'm so proud to have been there. So proud.
You mentioned earlier in the store connections you've made with certain people. You've also worked with so many other incredible people. And so between your working relationships or your connections with people like Jimmy Stewart, Elvis Presley, you mentioned Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, we already talked about Jim, Bill Murray. When you think of these people now, what moments come back, not as celebrity moments, but as kind of deeply human ones? Are there any really cool, cool human moments you can share?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm grateful that I met them when I did. I don't see many of them anymore. Through the years, we've all gone our separate ways. I'm proud that I did have a relationship, especially Joni. She's just so special. God, what she's gone through. I don't know how she's managing to come through it all, but she is, and she's out there working. I love it. I'm just proud that I've known them, that I was part of that kind of Hollywood. I'm very proud of my past. Once I was at an event where they had printed out everybody's credits, all the actors that were and it wasn't just Little House, it was all kinds. It was one of those signing, convention things. And they had printed out all of our credits and put them on the wall. And I still have a picture of it on my phone. Everybody's, it's like full typewritten page of credits. And then if you have a lot, they add on another page. So there were, a whole room full of one page, 2 page. 6 pages. I had 6 pages of credits. It went to the floor. And to tell you the truth, I was shocked and embarrassed. It was so obvious that I worked a long time. Hell, I'm 84 now. But it was a shock that I'd done so many. Have you gone on IMDb?
Yeah, and there was just too much to cover. So we just recovered, I guess what I consider to be the stuff that the audience wants to hear covered. You know what I mean?
I know. And they didn't repeat Little House on the Prairie, all the episodes. They just said Little House on the Prairie, and then Twin Peaks and then whatever it was. But I haven't worked in 5 years, something like that. I quit when I turned 65 and I'm 84, almost 20 years now. I haven't worked.
When you think of your life as a whole, art, relationships, survival, recovery for addiction, joy, what now feels like your greatest gifts?
I was damn lucky. That's what I feel. I was damn lucky. And I was lucky that I loved what I did. I mean, it was my life. It's what I just loved, acting. So I have a lot of gratitude, lots of gratitude.
To kind of wrap things up, where can our audience find copies of your book?
Go on Amazon. They print it. In fact, most people do go on Amazon and order it there.
So, Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us. It's
Oh,
been
you're
an
so
absolute
welcome.
pleasure.